Alright, everyone, welcome back to our Delving Deeper solo session 1, the official start. Okay, this one, I've been weirdly psyching myself out about this session, just because I'm used to playing in like a group, and I've been overthinking like mechanically how I'm going to go about this, and I don't think it's going to be that hard. So I think we're just going to dive in. And we're starting. Let's see. We've got Cadet, our cleric, Rolf, our fighter, and Leva, our MU, magic user. And we are currently at the Abbey of St. Agath, which is presided over by Abbess Lane. I don't know if you can see that. And currently, the High Priestess of the East Woods, so over here, the High Priestess is visiting, and they require a precious mineral held in the destroyed caverns depths. And that's the dungeon that we created. And here is the official inked version. Got it numbered for the rooms. It's a weird one, so we're gonna get into it. But to start, just so I can get this out of the way, we meet with the High Priestess and Abbess Lane in the garden, like sort of by these benches and flower beds, surrounding the fountain, and they let us know. We're not permitted to tell you what we need this mineral for, but we will reward you handsomely should you help us retrieve it. And the party, kind of newly acquainted, they agree. They're itching to get down to the depths. I mean, it's caverns. It's caverns not too far away from the Abbey. What could go wrong? And so they hurriedly grab their things and they head out. Let's see here. So, we're going to be moving 1 hex. So we can move 12 miles a day. So we can move 2 hexes. We don't need to do that. We just need to move southeast 1 hex. But that being said, still roll a d6 while we're traveling, and on a 6 we encounter wandering monsters, and we don't encounter anything. We make it to the mouth of the caverns, and they look like they look natural, but like the surrounding area of the caverns, like here's the mouth of it, all of this very, very natural. It does look like it's been kind of chipped out to make a wider mouth. So the corridors aren't incredibly tight, and I know that these lines are incredibly straight because it's a grid, but in our imagination, we're gonna imagine these are like really rough, kind of chopped walls, like they mined through, and sort of the rooms took shape depending on how large and, continuous or extensive the veins of whatever minerals they were hunting. So they would kind of create these rooms, these chambers from natural openings, but also, they would take whatever shape they needed to fully exhaust their the ores in the veins that they found them in. So we made it to the dungeon. And let's see. I'm going to set that back there. And as they walk in, move this up so y'all can see it. Let me get my really elaborate character sheets. There we go. So they start here in room 1. They descend down a set of like natural sort of. This is they had plenty of time to do the stairs, so they're very, very sturdy. Haven't despite this having been carved out a long time ago, they're still in relatively good shape. So they head into the first chamber, and it sort of spreads out, comes out, ends up going straight a little bit, and there's 3 different passages they can take. And when we come to like these forks, I think I might because obviously I created this, so I know where everything is. I think I want there to be some sort of like random decisions, although I am the players. You know what? I don't know what's in any of these rooms because we're going to be rolling that up on the spot, so fuck it, whatever. We'll go for it. So they head into the room, and I think that they're going to head through this just straight through. There's 2 doors to their left, like old rickety wood that's just sort of like swollen and become this solid gnarled piece of like just solid gnarled door. Essentially, it's just like you could tell it's like wedged into the threshold that it was built in. And that's the theme of OD&D, Delving Deeper. All doors are essentially assumed wedged shut. I would guess unless you need a key, and in that case, it's probably a well-designed door. But even still. So they're going to head straight, and we're going to do, I don't know that I'm going to keep exact, like, every 240 or every 24 squares, there is a turn. I think I'm going to go, like, because, you know, you can kind of tell this is what, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probably, like, maybe every 3 rooms or something like that, unless they're in something relatively large. So they're going to head into the first room. And I'm going to be using, from my Delving Deeper cheat sheet that I created, these are all in the tables, but I got it here. So I got a little bit of a random dungeon location. So this is a corridor. Actually, should I roll on corridors? This is really a play test for how this system, or my system for soloing this may shift and change. But yeah, you know what? I think for corridors, I think the real risk is that, you know, a corridor is essentially empty. But it does get you closer to the end of a turn. Set that there. So they're going to move up here. Say that's probably 120 feet. And they are staring right ahead. There's a huge, like, wooden contraption. Big beams, like, built up into the earth above. And, like, sort of, like, shoved down into these circular carved pits, and I mean there's like little gaps in between the corners of the carved hole in these beams, and it looks like it goes quite some ways, and there's a lever off to the right, and this is an elevator shaft. The platform is not currently at the first level that they're on, and they are able. And I think they're going to kind of talk amongst themselves. Oh, yeah, marching order. Real quick. Marching order is Rolf, then Cadet, and then Leva taking it. Actually, no, you know what? We're going to do Rolf, then Leva in the middle, and then Cadet in the back. So that's our marching order. So the magic user's in the middle, fighter up front, cleric in the back. And they're going to talk amongst themselves, and they're ready for whatever happens, but they can also see through. Like it's like a mining elevator, so they can see a room across. There's just like a sizable, it's probably like a 12-foot gap between this corridor and the room that they're in. So they do want to keep going straight. So in order to do that, they can either risk it and try to jump it, or build some sort of scaffolding to get over it, or they can pull the lever. And they do decide to pull the lever. So they pull it, there's a clunk, like sort of rickety metal gears start spinning. A counterweight comes down off to the side, and the rope is spinning upwards toward them, and they can see, after some time and the noise getting louder, they can see the top beams of the elevator gliding up, sort of stutters, and then stops with the platform at foot level. And so they are able to get across, and that's what they're going to do. So they're going to cross over. Probably, I'm going to guess Rolf is like foot on the elevator platform, like, really pushing his weight onto it, testing it. He's like, okay, I think it's good. So they cross through, and they cross into what is room 13. And here we're going to roll up random dungeon locations. So we roll 2d6, and we'll see what we get. I'll show you. These are some of the options. I don't know if it's right on it, but... So we got ourselves... Ooh, a 9. Oh boy, okay, it is a monster. So, now we go, and right below that table, we have random encounter table determination. So let's see, dungeon level, and then dungeon encounter table to consult. So we can roll, so we have 1 through, wait, where's my table? Oh, I put them backwards. Damn it, that's annoying. Okay, so we can do 1 through, we roll what, a 1 to, oh shit, okay. Ooh, alright, so we're rolling a d6 for this. So you roll a d6, I actually haven't used this yet. So you roll a d6, I know this is very hard to see. You're on level 1, roll a d6, a 1 through 4 you roll from the first table. A 5 will get you the second table. A 6 will get you the third. So let's do it to it. Please don't be a 6. God damn it. We wished it into existence. We the opposite of wished it into existence. Okay, so we are rolling on table 30. Not 30, table 3. And we need a d20. A 2. Ooh, giant beetles. Okay. So I'm going to bring this up here. And now we just need to pop into the bestiary, which is back here. Giant beetles. Should have been more prepared here. Oh, they're in alphabetical order. Giant beetles. Okay. Not available in a lair. Their AC. AC is 3? God damn. Okay. HD 2 to 7. Bro. Holy fuck. We might want to just get out of here. Let's see. Yeah, we roll. It's 1. We roll D12 on this shit too. Okay. Okay, there's 8 of them. But we also need... So there was no door. So I'm going to say there's an equal chance that we are surprised. So, surprise is only possible when either or both parties are unaware of the other. Surprise is achieved with a 5 to 6 or a 3 to 6 with thieves, which we're not using. Check for both sides. +2 to hit and target drops. Okay. So the white dice for us, the red is for them. Okay, so neither is surprise. So we'll just be rolling initiative normally. Damn, their AC being 3 is insane. But they are seeing. So I think we can do this. Let's see. All right. They have 2 to 7 HD. That's so crazy. All right. So there's 8 of them. I think we're gonna. I need to mark all these down. So give me 1 second. Beatles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And now we roll. So the 2 to 7. That seems like a wild 2 to 7 HD. So I don't get why it wouldn't just give you, like, the range feels weird. So is that a 1d6? Do you just roll randomly? That would be 2 through 7 would be a 1d6 plus 1. I think that's the number range. Sorry, y'all. I think there was a table. I don't know where that is. But, I mean, that would make sense. So, a 1d6 plus 1. A 5? They get 5 HD? Holy fuck, dude. That's crazy. My God. Alright, well. Giant beetles. They have. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they've got 6. That's 12. They got 22 HP for the first one. Six, and then 8, 14, 19. Oh yeah, no, we can't take them, and we can't even fucking try. But we do know that they're here now. We've got 3, 7, 11, 16. They are getting easier. And the only thing that we have going for us is our magic user has color spray. So 8, 10, 15. Do these. Seven, 12, 18. Ooh, 24. God damn, man. That would be our only spell that he has memorized. So their problem is that they went into this without any hirelings, which I did on purpose. So we got a 6, 7, 12, 17. I did that on purpose just because I was like, can they really have hirelings? Like, what do they have? A bunch of nuns coming through? Maybe the High Priestess brought people that could come and assist. So we got a 4, 8, 11, 16. And then we got 6, 12, 17, 21. Wow. All right, well, no one is surprised. Their AC is 3, which is truly insane. All right. And now we have to roll for initiative. To see who goes first. So the white die is us. If they go first, I mean, we're donezo, right? So we stepped into that room. Is there any way? No, I mean, this is the only way. We just have to beat them. And we did. Okay. So we do have initiative. I would say... Oh, this is perfect. Okay. So we got all these beetles, and I'll make note of where they are. They are in room... Yeah, this is the thing about, like, OSR and old school D&D. You don't fight everything. You fucking run. You run, you run, you run. All right. So, they are in room 13. Gotcha. And what they're going to do is Cadet and Leva and Rolf, they're going to dead-ass sprint back across that. And then just on their way through, just hit the lever as hard as they can. And that platform's just going to start dropping. The beetles, like, sort of creeping towards the, the precipice of it. Obviously not throwing themselves into the pit, but, like, I wouldn't say that they're, like, necessarily incredibly hostile. But, you know, that was a meal they missed out on. But now there is a 12-foot gap between the two. Or no, a 10-foot gap, technically. But, so yeah, they are able to get away. And that was almost the end of our 3 adventures in the first encounter. So they're going to head back. They're going to head back into room 1, which I am going to say is the end of 1 turn. So I'm going to make a note of dungeon turns down here. We'll do exploration turns. There's a decent amount to keep track of, but... So we can do a check mark there. And we'll roll to see if they encounter any wandering monsters. They do not. Okay. I think they should head into... So there's 5 levels of this place. Maybe once we're done, we'll roll... Well, you know, let's see. What? There's 5 levels. So... What would make sense for that? We need a... Damn, we need like a fucking D25. A D20? No, we roll a D100. Okay. A D100 and 1 through 10, or no, 1 through 20, level 1, and we'll figure out what what level this is, the mineral is on. Wow, a 9. No. Oh yeah, big time. 99. It's literally on the 5th level. Okay. Okay, of course. All right, well, this is gonna be a long dungeon. This will be fun though, because this means I get to map out all of them. Yeah. So they're gonna head. They are going to. I think they're gonna back out of this room and they're gonna go back into the first room. They didn't encounter any wandering monsters. I think they're gonna head like up and to the left, and then take this corridor over here. And just judging by like what they could see from across the gap of the elevator shaft, I'm gonna assume that they can sort of parse out that the room bordering this corridor is the room with the beetles in it. So, I think that the door that they have in there, I think that they're just gonna make a mark on it, like scratch something into the surface that just says like beware or like kill room or something like that, you know. And then they're going to head down this corridor and yeah, take a left. And they encounter this room that's like it's wide to their sides, but it does arrive at like a point at the far end of the room, and you can see like it's very like pockmarked at this point, and you can tell this probably wasn't intentionally supposed to be a room, but I'm assuming whoever mined this out found a vein of ore or minerals or something, and it just kept like it was a huge vein, and as they sort of chiseled away at it, it met at like a point at the end of the room, and they were able to excavate it all. But it did leave kind of an odd shaped room. So now I want to roll on the room generation or the random dungeon location. So a 4. Treasure guarded by a monster. Daggum. Alright, let's see. So we roll a d6 to figure out what table we're working with here. A 5. Okay, that is table 2. So we're going to roll a d20 and figure out... That's insane. Literally, there's dragons on these tables. Okay. We got a 9. Ghouls. Uh-oh. Alright, let's read a little bit about ghouls. I don't even want to know what they show up in. Ghouls, 1 through 12 appearing. They only have 2 HD. Yeah, so how do you decide if it's a layer, if they're in a layer? There is a faction. Let me see. Treasure guarded by monsters. Okay. If it has the resulting monster has a treasure type and appropriate numbers can be accommodated, then that location can be a lair. All right. So if it is a lair, then there would be 2 to 24. So what makes it possible for it to be a lair? Let me just do a little look through real quick. Dun, 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 dun. We throw to determine whether there is a lair of such monsters nearby. If so, then any member of the wandering group slain or captured is deducted. Okay, so we'll just do on a roll of a 6. It's a lair. It is not. So it's 2 to 12 ghouls. Or no, 1 to 12. So there's 4 ghouls. Let's make a note of that. So we got ghouls. 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't have a... Oh, there's a percentage for their lair. Okay, let's roll that. So there's a 20% chance that there's a lair. 75. So, nope. I'm assuming you got to do add or under for a percentage. Okay. So there's 4 of those, and they have 2 HD. So we can roll that real quick. 8. And we do have a cleric with us. So we are able... That's 5. Oh, sorry, guys. Another 5. We are able to at least make an attempt to turn. Okay. That is a 3. So that's 6 HP. Alright, word. Oh, what is their AC? AC 7. That's awesome. Love that. Type. Treasure type. Ooh. What is their treasure type? I think I'm going to use the Monsters and Treasure printout that I have instead of this. Just I like it. I like how it's set up. And it's fun to use old school supplements. But, yeah, okay. Do they have a special attack? Just real quick. Because I know ghouls are, in our campaign, are fucked. Their attack rolls and morale checks are penalized by -2 in the daylight, but the touch of these undead creatures causes paralysis for 1 turn in normal man types. A man type slain by a ghoul will arise the following night. Okay. It causes paralysis for 1 turn. No save. Or do you get a save? I feel like it would say if you did. Hold on. Gorgons, breath weapon. Oh wait, Gorgons turn things to stone. Rightly feared breath weapon. Breath weapon extends to 6 feet. I think it's anytime it's listed, I'm assuming you do a save. So that makes sense. Cool. We got this set up. AC 7. I think we're good to go. I just want to make sure. Just want to see what the order of these saves are real quick. Oh, we have to roll a 10 or above on 2d6 to so paralysis would be the 3rd one in. Paralysis, petrification. Okay. All right, I think we're good. Let's fucking do this. So we're gonna roll for initiative. Oh wait, did anyone surprise? We would have had to. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We're gonna retroactively do this because we need to get used to it. We did not. The door is forced. We did not see if we could get through the door. A 5 to a 6 would force them open, and on a success, we surprise enemies behind. Yo, okay, I'm pushing it over so you can see it with a pencil. That's a 6, baby. And that's a surprise. So we do have the jump on them. So we get a +2 to hit. And yeah, +2 to hit, which is so rad. We've got our attack matrix here, and I'll go through this. Yeah, we can start this battle. So we get a round of unanswered attacks first, which is very cool. Marching order first. Rolf at the front. What does he have? Big battle axe, just ready to fuck shit up. Yeah, so we're going to go in. We got a +2 to hit. And so how the attack matrix works, if you haven't played before, I know this is incredibly... Fuck it, we're just going to look at this one because it's bigger. Combat, here you go. So, try a spiral bound version of this. So you can see the attack matrix. You see that like little square underneath where it says underneath fighters. So that's the level 1 to 2 column. And then you have monster hit die. So the ghouls are a 2 hit die creature. So we're not using that first row. We're using the 1+ because we are a level 1 to 2 fighter. So in order to hit an AC of 7, we have to roll an 11 or above for the fighter. For the cleric, a 1 to 3. Yeah, okay. So we are using this. No, wait. Oh no, fighters use this row. Oh, cool. All right. 1+. Up to 1. Oh, nice. So they start on their own tier. So fighters level 1 to 2. Theirs are. This is what they start on. So we would always be hitting at an 11 or above. So the clerics are using this top row. For a 7, they need a 12 or above. For magic users 1 to 4, they also need a 12. So we need an 11 with Rolf and a 12 with the other two. And so the ghouls are like kind of floaty creatures, like dressed in these ratted, tattered cloth robes, and they're just like sort of gnashing gross, decrepit fingernails, sort of like scraping along the rock as they go. And yeah, Rolf's gonna run in, and he's gonna swing and just try to fucking chop this first one. So we get a +2 to hit. We need an 11 or above. Oh, that's a 13 with our +2. I'll move that over. And now in OD&D, roll for... what's our strength? 12, so it's unadjusted. So we don't do any more damage. You would need a lot more, I think. And I think that might even just be to hit. Maybe it is damage. But it doesn't affect us, so we're going to roll a d6. So a 3... Do that. I got 5 left. Same deal with our magic user. Let's see. A dagger. Leva's close enough to where she's just like the first one that Rolf went after. She's going to sort of like slip in real quick and just try to jab a dagger in there. So a +2 to hit. So technically we need a 10 or above. We got an 11. All right, so that was 13 total. We needed a 12, so that hits. That's a 3. All right, so Leva stabs through, and for just like a moment, she makes contact, and it just slips into the robes. The ghoul makes sort of like a breathy like inhalation, but Leva's sort of like kind of nudged out of the way so Cadet can come through and use her flail and try to just like knock the head off this thing. So we need a 10 or above. A 19, baby. All right, so that's a 21. We hit. Oh, 5. Okay, and does exactly that. Comes through, sort of guides Leva out of the way, and then she's like, "Be gone, foul beast." Swings her flail, just like cracks the head off of this ghoul. And that is our adventurer's turn. And now we roll for initiative. So they're going to be red, we're going to be the white dice. And we'll see who goes first. Oh, they go first. Okay, so there's 3 against 3 at this point. Rolf's got an AC of 3. God, that is not good. Okay. With 3 HP, too. Is there... I'm assuming they're... Whatchamacallit? I'm assuming they have no special attacks. Other than the paralysis. Yeah, it's all just D6. Okay. I'm going to put a bookmark actually in here too. That's why I love these index cards. Okay, so the ghouls get to go first. The next ghoul in line is going to try to buck up on Rolf. Rolf sort of just like chest puffed out in plate armor, just like battle axe gripped, sort of blocking the way. Like, you'll have to get through me first. And then the ghouls come in, try to like swing their gross claws in, and the ghouls are... Wait, so what do they need? They're a 1 HD. Let's see, this is why you gotta have this stuff bookmarked. Ghouls, their AC to hit. So what are they? The combat matrix, they're a... What would they be? Would they be a monster hit dice? Oh. Okay. I think this section, the monster hit dice, I'm pretty sure... Is that actually the monster's attack? I feel like it is. Give me 1 second here. And then I kind of feel like maybe it is. Monster hit dice up to 1. Shit, yeah, I think it is. We were correct on what we were rolling for anyways, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the monsters in order to hit. So they have 2 HD, so they have their own separate attack matrix formula. So they're going to go for Rolf, the second one in line. And to hit Rolf with an AC of 3, they have 2 to 3. They need... They need a 14. They need a 14 to hit. Okay. And they got a 4. So they swing. Rolf kind of darts out of the way. The next one in line sort of has an opening. Has an opening for Leva. So they need a... Fuck. Oh no. They need an 8. Yeah, they need an 8 to hit. Oi. Okay. That's a 15. And they roll a D6 on Leva. Y'all, she's got 3 HP. Oh, fuck. Okay. So, the ghoul comes through, sort of like grabs Leva by the throat. Her eyes go wide, and it just crunches its just like jagged, horrific nails through the skin of her neck into her throat, and you can just see the blood sort of pool out. And then it just drops her, and she falls to the ground. You can see where like her like trachea has kind of just been crushed. And then the next one in line moves for Cadet, who has an AC of 5. God damn. Okay, we lost our MU already. AC of 5. Where are we at here? 12. A 12 or more. That's another 4, so it misses. And they... Oh, fuck. Okay. No, turning will not work. Ghouls are a 10, and you're only rolling you're rolling 2d6s. So that's... You get a 10 or above. It's like a 3 in 12 chance. Okay. Also known as a 25% chance. That is shit. We just gotta go for raw damage, I think. Okay, so we gotta roll... No, we don't roll for initiative. We get to go. So Leva's out of the picture for now. Well, not for now, for good. And Rolf's gonna come back and just swing hard. What was their AC? They were AC 7, I feel like. Yeah, they were. Yeah, so we needed an 11. That's so brutal. An 11 or above. We get no pluses. Oh my god. Okay, 11. Exactly. We're going to roll a d6. And that's a 2. Alright. 3. Same deal. Cadet coming through with the flail. That's a 13 to hit a 7 on a cleric, which is this first row. That's a 12. That is a hit, baby. That's a hit. Oh, you dirty dog. Okay. So that's 2 HP left. Now we gotta roll for initiative. Right? Why am I overthinking this? No, that's how we do it. We roll for initiative each time. I gotta double check this because now I'm overthinking it. Okay, make your initiative. Referee resolves all actions for the turn in whatever order he judges. He may grant initiative to those firing missiles. Otherwise, initiative is determined by throwing a d6-sided die per group or per combatant, with the higher score getting the first opportunity to attack that turn. Okay, yes, so we do it again. That's us. Thank God. Okay, so we need an 11 and a 12. Rolf, going back in. 14, that's a hit. That's a 2. He just cleaves the ghoul in half. And then Cadet's going in. Wait. Oh, yeah. No, I just don't think it's worth it to even try. A 1? Come on. Okay. Alright, now the ghouls go. And so they need to... They're going for Rolf. Rolf's doing the most hurting here. So we got these last 2, and they need what again? For an AC of 3. 2 to 3. A 14. Okay, that's an 18. And that's a 2, so 2 damage. We'll give that a 5. 5 out of 7. And now we need to roll to see if we can save against paralysis. So we need a 14. Wait. Oh no. Wait, a 14 or above? That seems really bad. Okay. That is quite bad, but they get better over time. Okay, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. A 14 or above. Oh, do you see that 19 rock for a minute? Okay, so, yeah. Rolf is paralyzed. And he can't do anything for this next turn. So, Cadet needs to go. And she's gotta smoke this dude. So a 12. A 4. Fuck. Oh, wait. No. It wouldn't be Cadet's turn. It just went. It would be the monster's turn. So one more. Gonna go for... They're gonna go for Rolf, I'm gonna say. A 6. That misses. And now it's time to roll for initiative. Okay, we get to go again. Just Cadet this turn, unfortunately. So we need to get a 12 or above. An 11. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah. Rolf is paralyzed, so that's this turn. They need a... They're going to go for Cadet. It's got an AC of 5. And that's a 12 or above. A 5. That's a miss. The other one's going to go for Cadet as well. Should we take that? No. Yeah, let's take it. That was a 16. It was an accidental roll. Okay, now they're going to... 4 damage. Shit. So Cadet's got 2. 2 HP left. And then now we got to make a save for paralysis, which is a 14 or greater. A 17. All right, she is not paralyzed. So now we roll for initiative. A 1, they go first. So I need a 14 to hit Rolf, and that's who they're going for. A 15, god damn it. That's 6. Dude, that's it. Rolf's donezo. Wow, okay. Now they're going for Cadet. And that is a 12, which I feel like they need exactly. DC 5. It is. So now they're going to roll. That's a 6. Fuck. Okay, well, that is... Wait, so what room was that? That was room 10. I'm going to make a note of that. Room 10. Okay, so room 10 has... Let's see here. 2 HD. So the room 10 is going to have 2 more ghouls now. That's a 9. Shit. Okay. 5, 6. So that's a 9 HP. And that's Rolf. No, it's going to have 3 more. Holy fuck. Okay. Also a 9. That's Cadet. And then 1 more. Watch it be like a 12. That's an 8. And that is Leva. Okay, so we got rid of 2 and then gave them 3. So, not ideal, but such is OD&D. And now I have to come back with even more fervor. And I gotta roll up. I'm gonna roll up probably, honestly, more than 3 characters this time. We'll come back. So, yeah, that's it. That's fucking. These three are done. I'm gonna have a little stack of characters that get burned. Yeah, that's OD&D. That's how brutal it was. I mean, it's just like no punch is held. You just get wrecked. But that's like that to me. That's the fun of it. I love like the character churner that dungeons can be, where it's like you just send them in and bam, bam, bam. In my OD&D campaign, I'm playing online with some people. I mean, I'm on my fourth character, and you just learn to let go. They're just characters. This is what dungeons are for. But anyways, that was solo session 1. For the next one, we will have we'll have a couple more characters to come back, and we will go at this. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and RIP my 3 beautiful babies. All right. Peace, y'all.